Welcome everybody to some breaking news here regarding Warcraft 3. Since the release of Reforged, it was a little bit up in the air who's working on the title directly, who's trying to fix it, who's bringing us the balance changes, etc. And obviously there was a big pause. It was kind of known that part of the WoW team was working on it, but with the recent news about the WoW team seeing a lot of people getting fired or leaving the company, that was already a little bit worrisome. But we've heard through the cracks that that might not be the case anymore, and now we know who are the developers behind Warcraft 3 currently in April of 2023. You probably saw that there's a lot more work being put to Warcraft 3 in the past half a year or something. They finished the ladder, they finished rank, they gave us new balance updates, and now the PTR for patch 1.36 has new features as well, which is observer mode and automated tournament modes. And that begged the question, who's doing that? Because a couple of people on the WoW team who are not familiar with the game can't really do that because Warcraft 3 is a very, very fragile game when it comes to development and changes. So last year, there was some news, not regarding Warcraft 3, but something similar. It was a news that the development company PlaySide adds Blizzard to the list of gaming collaboration partners. As I said, this was quite some time ago, and the article said that their portfolio includes Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, Overwatch, Diablo, and Candy Crush. A game that was never mentioned in such articles was Warcraft 3. So we knew that a developers team from Melbourne called PlaySide is working on some Blizzard titles in a certain way, but it was never confirmed that it's them doing the Warcraft work as well. So that made me curious, and I put them on my Google alerts. And there was an investors call or report recently from PlaySide, and there is where it's finally revealed that PlaySide is also working on Warcraft 3. There is the quote: regarding the scope of work, for a long time, we've said that we are working on some extremely high-profile titles, but haven't been able to disclose what they were. I'm happy to say that we can now talk about one of those titles, and that's Warcraft 3 Reforged for Activision Blizzard. Warcraft is one of the highest-grossing video game franchises of all time, and an iconic name if you're a hardcore gamer. We've taken on the project in an effort to respond to Warcraft's community feedback. Warcraft 3 is a live service game, and Blizzard wants to ensure the best experience for their player base. And our role is to ensure that we can add new features, community requests, and gameplay tweaks, as well as fixing any bugs. That is the initial statement, and now it's been revealed. Later, they talk a little bit more in this about Warcraft 3, and that is here, where they say, can you talk more about the Warcraft 3 Reforged work for hire? They are working with a lot of other work for hire studios. How does PlaySide fit in there? Look, we don't know how many other studios Blizzard are working with, and we probably couldn't comment even if we did. But what I could say is that with Warcraft 3, we are the only studio they're working with on that project. And so, as someone who grew up playing Warcraft 3 and how big that game actually is, it's been pretty amazing for us to work one-on-one with Blizzard for that. And not just that, I think any game that we launch going forward, we get to obviously say that we've worked on Warcraft, so it gives us a lot of more merit when it comes to launching any future PC titles, as will whatever we're doing with 2K and everything else. So that is something that is sometimes why we then chose to do work for hire deals if we think that it's going to considerably add to any new titles we make going forward, that we did make that title. So I guess as a dev team, you always want to do your own titles, right? Your own vision, but sometimes to get your name out there and maybe also get better revenue and finance these projects that are your dreams, you have to do some work for hire. And that's exactly what they do for Warcraft 3. And I think it's been very noticeable that there's a new team working on Warcraft 3 for the past 6 months, I think. As everything they did since the ladder was introduced was responding well to community feedback. Whenever we feedback them, they listened and they thought about it and they implemented it, especially the balance stuff. And also something like how long should seasons go. Unfortunately, there's still no community manager of some sorts or some direct conversations. But of course, hey, people at PlaySide, you're more than welcome to reach out to us. We're more than willing to help you guys out, as we know that this game is probably a nightmare to work with, as it is so old. We heard from other sources that it's poorly commented on. There's no documentation really on the game, and it's easy to break stuff. But we're also willing to help you guys on that. And it also feels like they're getting more and more used to the client and they're listening to the community. So that's all very good signs for the first version. I don't want to say that they are so far doing the best work there's ever been for video games, but they are doing a much better job than what we've seen before. It feels like they are listening, they are responding. And that's a very good step. And that's a very good sign. The question is, of course, now, how long does this contract last between Blizzard and PlaySide? Will they support it for a year or longer? Is there certain steps that they have to do, like doing the ladder and bringing it back to the status that Frozen Throne was on? Maybe that is also the reason why they're implementing the automated tournaments again. We don't know. We'd love to hear more about that. And hopefully they are a little more vocal on that. But for us, it's good to know. It's good to know that it's a team. It's kind of good to know that it's not Blizzard, I guess, as well, given how many people are leaving the company or are forced to leave the company currently. So yeah, we will try to reach out for collaborations, for interviews, for some comments, and hopefully they respond. At least we know who to contact now and who to get in touch with. I think that's very good news.